Well, some new concerns about two big sectors in our economy amid fears that we could be in the middle of a technology bubble and a real estate bubble, and that they could burst. Marco Soriano, who's managing partner of Soriano Group, he joins us now with some more information about it. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you for having me.
So these bubbles, several big tech companies, first of all, they've gone public in the past few weeks with lower than expected valuations, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So is this a sign of another technology stock market bubble?
I think it's another sign of correction that needs to be made. Mm-hmm. First of all, what we're looking in our sector is that all these technological companies are getting dumped so much money. And I think that's a sign that institutions have way too much money to dump. Mm-hmm. When you're looking at technology from a private sector point of view, there's still a lot of them, startup companies that are in the need of money and capital. I don't personally and professionally speaking about these companies believe that they need these amounts of money at all.
So how do those corrections that you were speaking of affect the average investor?
Another problem, when we're looking at the U.S. economy, people start looking at Wall Street as the barometer with these IPOs. We shouldn't. What really drives the economy is at a micro scale, the startup companies that are just beginning. So evaluating these companies at a much higher or dumping too much money into them is just going to blow these out of proportion.
So the real estate bubble, is that a possibility? Is that something that's coming up?
I think we're still making the same mistakes of repeating the same formula that was used during the subprime mortgage crisis that we had. And it's happening in a lot of places in the world. And one of the main reasons is that it is backed up by the same banks. Regardless of the loose monetary policy that we're living, where banks are able to get access to money at a very low interest rates, that hasn't done anything. That hasn't really put Americans in the market to buy homes. It actually has become harder. Mm-hmm. So if we go into a tight monetary policy again, it's going to be hard. So
how do we get out of that? I mean, I keep hearing that this is going to happen again. We're in this vicious circle. How do we escape it?
We should speak to Janet Yellen and make sure that she gets the advisory that she really needs to understand how these economic factors can potentially damage our economy.
And then what do you expect to happen when the Fed does begin to raise interest rates again?
That's going to be tricky because once they raise the interest rates, banks are going to do the same. In the meantime, in the last 6-7 years, they have gotten money from the Federal Reserve, so they're holding this money so that they can expand their lending departments. So I think it's all strategy for them to have enough money in reserves so that when the time comes, they can start lending at very high interest rates.
Okay, very quickly, actually don't have time for this, but I want to know one piece of advice for the average investor that's sitting home right now having turkey with their family.
Sure, I start looking at a micro scale at companies that haven't been listed just yet, and work with groups like ourselves that know how to do this, how to analyze companies and potential investment opportunities.
Wouldn't that be great to find a company that just blows up?
Forget Wall Street. Forget Wall Street for now.
Thank you, Marco. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you.